Hey plant fam! Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Jacqueline. This is part of my jungle. If you're not new here, thank you so much for coming back. I really appreciate you for still being here. So today I have a video for you that I've definitely done before, but I want to do it again because there are some new people, lots of new people. Hi, new people. I appreciate you for being here. Always let me know in the comments below. Like, I love when you guys tell me I'm a new subscriber. It makes me really happy because I see the numbers go up, but I don't know who the people are. So over the years, I've gotten to know the people who regularly comment on my videos. Like, so if you guys are one of those people who leaves a comment, not on every video, but often enough, like, I see you, I recognize your name, I try to remember things that you've told me in previous comments, and it's nice because it makes me feel like I can actually like put people behind the numbers and stuff like that. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking because, well, not really, because I'm gonna talk for this whole entire video. But today I have 5 plants that I think don't get enough hype. So I've been doing plants that have too much hype, not worth the hype, and plants that are worth the hype. So I was like, well, what about the plants that don't get enough hype? So I've done this in terms of like underrated plants, stuff like that, and that is definitely what we're going to be talking about today. So some of these shouldn't be surprising if you guys have been here for a while, because there's definitely plants that I'm always saying I don't understand why people don't get more excited about this plant. And the first one on my list is an Aglaonema. You guys know I love Aglaonema. I think the whole genus is really underappreciated in the plant community. There are some really gorgeous varieties. One of my favorites is the commutatum. So naturally, the variegated version is also one that I absolutely love. So there is like the tiniest little bit of like hype, not even like excitement around this plant. It is a little bit on the pricier side. I had a bunch that I sold. If you guys are interested in these, I can get more. But again, like they're pretty pricey, but they're beautiful, and it's an Aglaonema, so it's really easy to care for, and I absolutely love it. I think that this plant should get way more hype than it does. I absolutely love it. I think that there's a lot of Aglaonema that don't get the hype that like something like the Pictum tricolor would get. And that's a beautiful plant, don't get me wrong, but it's a pain in the butt to keep happy. I've had like 3, and I've kept them alive for maybe 9 months before they like just inevitably start going downhill. So that's heartbreaking. But we have other beautiful Aglaonema that will not break your heart, and this is one of them. And I think that it is 100% a plant that doesn't get enough hype, and if it did get hype, I would say it's way worth it because it's beautiful. And I've been growing it. I actually imported it, and it's done really well for me. I had it in water for a while, which is what I do with all my imports, and then I switched it over to this mossy perlite mix, and it has been doing really well for me. It's focusing its energy on putting out roots. You can see some nice little roots coming out of the bottom here. So it hasn't really put out too much growth, but I do plan on potting this up into some soil soon because I can see some roots. Once I see some roots starting to establish themselves, then I feel comfortable switching it out. So for now, it is living in the mossy perlite mix in a glass enclosure in my bedroom, but I'm gonna need to take it out because there's there's a new critter joining the family that's gonna need that glass enclosure. So I'm not gonna tell you what it is yet, but when I come home from Tennessee next week, there will be a new baby that we have to go and pick up. So I'm pretty excited about that. But anyway, Aglaonema commutatum variegated is the first plant on my list today. The second plant on my list should not be surprising if you've been here for a while, because then you'll know it's one of my favorite plants, like period, in my whole collection. And that is my Ficus Tineke. So I did move it because it was getting too tall for the shelves over here, and it's still kind of sorting itself out. I have to rotate it a lot, but it looks like it's trying to face this way. So it'll do that, but I just love the variegation on this plant. I know a lot of people are not necessarily afraid of ficus, but have this preconceived notion in their head that ficus are really difficult to grow in your home, and that can definitely be the case for varieties like Benjamina, even the Triangularis, even though I haven't had any trouble with this one in a while. Yeah, and like the fiddly fig, even the Ficus altissima, I've had a hard time keeping happy. If you want a ficus that is going to be super duper easy to care for, this is the ficus for you. So Ficus elastica includes this one. The more ruby variegated one is just going to have more pink where the white is, and especially the new leaves come in really pink on the ruby Tineke. There's the Ficus burgundy. I have a regular green one with massive leaves that I got at literally Trader Joe's for $10, and it's huge. So yeah, I really love the Ficus Tineke. I feel like you really can't go wrong. If this was a new plant to hit the market, I think people would go nuts for this variegation, but I think it's just such a normal thing that we see in plant shops and plant stores that we tend to overlook it. And this is me encouraging you to not overlook the Ficus elastica in the store. I've been seeing really big ones pop up at the big box stores for like 20 or 30 bucks for these huge, massive, beautiful plants. And if I didn't have one already, I probably would have snagged it. I bought this as just like a little baby right before COVID lockdowns. And look at how much it has grown. I am so proud of this plant. I absolutely love it. I remember the day that I bought it. It was literally right before everything shut down. And she's been really happy in my care ever since. Growing nice and strong for me. Gotta shake it, imitate the wind to get a nice strong trunk, and I'm hoping that 10 years from now I'll have a house, hopefully before that. But it'll just be a big tree. So like that is something that I love about ficus. Let me give you my ficus pitch really quick. I absolutely love the fact that these can grow into trees. I just find that to be so fascinating and so special, because most of our houseplants max out at a certain size. They might continue to grow, but like they don't really reach massive sizes, you know? Like you can have a golden pothos that's going to take over your apartment. Unless you get it up a pole, obviously, then you're not going to get like big leaves on it or anything like that. I guess you could kind of grow it up a pole to look like a tree, but they don't naturally do that. Ficus naturally do that. They are trees. This is a little tree. I have a little tree here, and I love that. I feel like I'm going to turn into one of those crazy tree people when I finally have property to have trees on and be like collecting cool trees, because I just love the concept of growing a tree. I also have some seeds that I haven't started yet for like I have like maple tree leaves, I think, or like Japanese maple, which is my favorite, but that's not the point. we're gonna grow those. I've just been trying to grow veggies, but I do have lots of Plantflix seeds that I'm gonna get started and try again to grow some houseplants. Your girl is not very good at growing things from seed, but we're learning and we're trying, and I'm not gonna stop trying until I figure it out. So anyway, Ficus Tineke is number 2 on my list. I know people go crazy for the Shiveriana because it's new, but I think this is a classic, and I really don't think that you can go wrong with this beautiful variegation. So I got my little guy in here smoking his pipe, so he's just chilling. So that is number 2 on my list. Number 3 I have to actually grab. It's hanging right here. Okay, so number 3 is a Hoya, and it is my Hoya fungii. Look at that new leaf. Wow. So this is a really affordable Hoya and a really easy going, easy growing Hoya. All of this is new. It was actually slapping us in the face as we walked by, so I've had to like maneuver it so that we didn't knock off any baby leaves. I think we knocked off a couple in between here. I'm just letting this vine finish growing, and then I'll probably propagate it because this looks silly. But anyway, Hoya fungii, love these leaves. I love how big and veiny. This is a new leaf out. Look at it. It's like veins on veins. It's splashy. Look at how big it is compared to the size of my hand. I do have like pretty big hands for a woman, so like keep that in mind too. I don't have these like little teeny tiny dainty hands, like they're big. I am a big human being. I think that surprises people because like I don't seem like it, but I'm 5'9" and like I'm lanky, long fingers. So yeah, anyway, Hoya fungii is slapping me in the face with all of its tendrils. Absolutely love this plant. I think it's so underrated. You can get a really nice one of these for like 30 bucks. I'm always selling cuttings when I'm able to cut it. I am in a period of just letting this one grow out. And it has been definitely growing for me. I'm trying to get the glare off of it. Look at those leaves. How can you not love that? Why Hoya collectors don't get excited about Hoya fungii is baffling to me. Like, look at how big this leaf is. And it's such an easy growing plant. So if you like Hoya and you do not have this one yet, you need it. I think I paid like 30, 40 bucks maybe for this whole entire hanging basket. I got this one from the plant farm. Highly recommend checking them out. It came to me with a fully intact bloom. Like, opened up the box and the first thing I saw was a Hoya fungii bloom. That peduncle shriveled up, unfortunately, and fell off, but I am confident that it is going to give me more peduncles as this thing grows. It is a very happy, healthy Hoya that will probably need to repot at some point this season, but number 3 on my list. Also, if you don't have a lot of Hoya and you're looking for some really nice trailing Hoya that can get big, that aren't expensive, because let's face it, a lot of those really big leaf Hoya are pretty pricey. My Hoya Meredithii was like 80 bucks back in the day. I think they're cheaper now, but for the average person who doesn't want to spend more than like $20, $30 on a plant, this is the Hoya for you. And you don't need to go crazy about keeping it in a cabinet or a greenhouse. This just hangs literally right off to the side of this bookshelf right here, and it loves life. So Hoya fungii. I'm sure there's like 1,000 more Hoya that I could talk about that I think are underrated. So if you want that video, leave me a comment down below and let me know that you would want me to do a Hoya specific video on Hoya that don't get enough hype, because there is a lot of them. Trust me, I'm not the kind of girl who just goes and grabs up all the expensive Hoya. I like to wait a few years for them to come down to a reasonable price, So I have a lot that are affordable, that maybe people don't get as excited about, but they should. So, and I have some more coming next week, so stay tuned for that. I snagged a couple of really cute little baby ones that I'm very excited about. So number 4 on my list is Rhipsalis. So specifically, I wanted to talk about the paradoxa. Now, don't get me wrong, this plant does get some hype, but it doesn't get the hype that, like, you know, anthurium hybrids get or monstera albos get. But I just think that this is one of the coolest plants, and it's giving me all this new growth. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 new growth points coming off of this, and I just love it. I can't wait for this to be big and full one day. I just think it's the coolest thing. So Rhipsalis are jungle cactus, in case you didn't know. They are cacti that grow in a more jungly environment, so they do require a little bit more water than a traditional cactus. I treat these the same as I treat all of the rest of my houseplants. So for example, my cacti obviously don't get watered every week. They probably get watered once or twice a month. These get watered once a week along with the rest of my plants. So I would say Rhipsalis I treat the same as a Hoya or a Dischidia, anything along those lines. And the good thing about them too is they're gonna let you know when they're thirsty, because they are very turgid. They'll start to get really floppy and sad. But I really don't think that this gets the hype that it deserves. If you don't have this one yet, I highly recommend it. I did sell all the cuttings off of here that I had. Here's the funny thing, I took cuttings and then my cat knocked it over, so I had no choice but to take more cuttings. But because of it, we got all of this new growth, and I am not mad about that. I absolutely love Rhipsalis. You guys know I've shown you my collection, I'm pretty sure, in a video, but they're just so cool. Even just the regular, I don't remember what this one is called, but look at it. You guys know. If you're new here and you haven't seen this plant and pot combo, you're welcome. I can leave it linked down below for you if they still have it in stock. This is from the Next Gardener, so is the plant. They have really great prices and really great stuff. If you like succulents and cacti and weird plants, definitely go and check them out. I have a discount code for you. They gave me even more of like a discount to give you guys. I think it used to be 10% and now it's 15%. So definitely go and check out their website, because they have some really cool planters. They have all the soil and like top dressing that you could possibly need for your cacti and succulents as well. And they have this Rhipsalis and maybe still this pot. I'm not sure. I have to check. But I will leave both of them linked for you if you want to have the brother to my plant. Like, look at him. He just looks so cool. I love this plant. So Rhipsalis, I definitely think, is super duper underrated. I think these are really, really cool plants. So apologize if you hear noise. There's some sort of construction going on in the building below us. They're like renovating an apartment, so apologize if you can hear that. But number 5 and the last one on my list is, let me grab one of them to show you, Dischidia. The Million Hearts is probably one of my favorites, and I'm just saying Dischidia in general, I think just don't get the hype that they deserve. I wanted to show you my Oiantha variegated that I'm hanging in the window. I can show you a clip over the screen now, but it has actually started to attach itself and started vining up what it's growing on. So I don't want to take it down while those vines are really fragile, but I absolutely love that plant. I'm constantly taking cuttings from it. If you buy plants from me or have bought plants from me, you probably have gotten a cutting of that Dischidia. That's actually David's plant, and it's one of his favorites, and I love it as well. But we also have the Dischidia Rucifolia, which is called Million Hearts variegated. And then I have this other one that I can never remember the name of, something Island. I genuinely don't know, but it's a really cool, unique looking Dischidia. Obviously I'll put the name on the screen for you guys because I always forget it. This one has been growing since the last time I showed it to you, and I love Dischidia. I think they're super duper weird and cool. They are related to Hoya. They're like cousins. So if you like Hoya, you're gonna like Dischidia. Highly recommend checking it out. So I'm gonna go before the noise gets even louder. Let me know in the comments below what plants you would add to this list that you love, that you think just don't get the hype that they deserve. I would love to know. Let me know also if you have any of these plants in your collection. I'd be curious to know. So that is it for this video today, you guys. I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me. I rambled a lot, I know. I'm sorry. It's just, I'm in that mood. I'm just very talkative today. So hopefully you liked it. If you did, you should give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss anything from me. Like when I go live, I'm probably going to do a live stream at some point next week when I get home from Tennessee. So stay tuned for that so you could be part of the live chat. It's another great way for me to talk to you guys and get to know you, and to ask each other and answer questions like in real time. So there is a join button if you want to be part of the official plant fam. We did get a couple of new members this last week, so welcome to the plant fam. I appreciate you guys for being here. Definitely working on like more perks for you guys all the time, so stay tuned for even more exciting stuff for plant fam members. If you don't want to join, that's okay. You can always super thanks me if you want to donate to my channel. You don't have to though. I appreciate you just for being here and liking this video and leaving a comment below. All of those things help me out a lot. It lets YouTube know that you like this, and then it shows it to more people. So you are so loved and so appreciated. I hope that you are having a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.